What's the benefit to going out and spending some time on the road now after spending so much time at home to begin the season?
Yeah, I mean, there usually is. This early in the year, there's some of that we did in training camp, right? We get away and have some bonding, and guys get to spend a lot of time out without usually some distractions. But I don't know, that works both ways, and I don't know, we just won't play, man. We're playing well, and when I say when you're playing well, just bring the games at us, right?
When you look at Phoenix tomorrow night, like kind of a young team, they play at that high pace. Is that a team you want to run with, or would you try and?
Yeah, I think so. We want to play fast, right? And I'm not sitting here trying to get in any speed competitions with anybody. And if you think it's too fast for you and you're going to try to control tempo, I don't really want to be that team, right? Or have other guys play that way. I still think that you can play fast and also play controlled at the same time.
Do you think last game was your team's best defensive effort?
For stretches, right? For stretches, and again, I think we've had some really, in the theme of the scary stretches, right? We've had some really scary, seriously, where we've really had some scary stretches, and I think it started in Montreal first, where in that third quarter we just man, we were flying around and looked like there was nowhere to go for anybody, and we were coming away with the ball, I don't know, something like 11 straight possessions or something like that. And we had a few of those runs the other night as well. So just extending that out, right? I'm not silly enough to believe we're going to play that way for 48 minutes or any of that kind of stuff. We're going to try and extend that out over the course of the season. It's early, and again, hopefully we keep our interest level there and our excitement for doing those kind of things, and understand that there's moments where we're going to have to play a little harder and call on that to carry us through some games.
What are the defensive metrics you look at to determine how players do?
Well, I think there's always I got a couple that are not really metrics. I wouldn't even call them metrics. I like to keep the score of transition. Are we getting more transition buckets than they are? I like to keep the score of rebounding. Are we giving up too many offensive rebounds? And I like to keep the score of free throws. And I think if we're not fouling too much and we're getting back and getting our share and we're keeping them off the glass, then a lot of the other metrics like field goal percentage and turnover percentage and all that kind of stuff end up being pretty good.
How meaningful will it be if you have like a full complement of point guards, I presume, at some point on this trip?
Well, I think we've been fairly unhealthy here, right? Yeah. Like Fred and OG and DeLon haven't hardly played for us like this whole time. I mean, they've been in and out, but they haven't practiced or played very much at all. And those are three really good players, and DeLon and Fred kind of go together a little bit, right? So I think it'll help us a lot. I think our second unit has been a little disjointed. Some of that's my fault, right? I'm changing it all the time and searching and all that kind of stuff, but I think it'll help all of those guys to be back. Yeah.
Kawhi's been particularly great in third quarters. He's been great across the board.
Yeah.
Is this something you see all the time with great players where they make that adjustment at halftime?
No, not really. I think some guys are just the opposite. They're really bad in third quarters, right? We've had that problem over the years too, but I don't have any really answer for that right now. Let's hope he plays good in all the quarters. Right? Evens it out a little bit.
You've mentioned that the sort of rest plan for Kawhi will be a case-to-case thing. You've got the back-to-back coming up this weekend. When you do make that decision, what are some of the main factors that go into sort of which game?
Yeah, I think the schedule makes it the first factor. Right? What's it look like coming at us? Maybe the game before. How many minutes did he play? How rigorous was it? This is his first travel trip during the regular season, so that's something to add on there too. I mean, look, I'm going into this assuming he's going to play in Phoenix and L.A. at this point, unless somebody tells me different. Those are the next two. If they tell me different when we get to L.A. that he's going to wait and go to Utah, then I'll go from there.
What can OG do for the team when he's back? I know you talked about him a little bit.
His defensive That's a good word.
Acumen.
Yeah, his acumen is just his. I don't know. He's given a good spark there. That was a really bad word, spark. But it just feels like when he's out there, all of a sudden the guys are picking off his energy a little bit and playing a little bit harder, and then you got him and Kawhi both doing it, and then it's kind of like he's involved in a lot of those streaks that you talked about. We talked about. I mean, he seems to be involved in a lot of those multiple stops streaks. So it's good, and I think his shooting is really, really solid, really, really good. Going to keep getting better, and then you're going to see a little bit more of his game start to shine too. His skill work has improved. He just hasn't been in and out a little too much to let some of that show.
When you look at games where Kawhi has 4 steals or he's participating in forcing a lot of turnovers, how much of it is his, just his understanding, his game plan understanding, and how much is just him having gifts that other guys don't have?
Those are both gifts. His understanding and the athleticism to do it are both really at a high level, and are gifts. From our standpoint, we are just happy that our guys are engaged in wanting to use those gifts. Right? They want to play defense. They're engaged in it. At least again through some stretches here, and it's really important. It's going to take our team a long ways if we can stay engaged and polish that up as we go here.
Habits rubbing off on other guys, like
I don't know what it would be, but his work ethic is like second to none. But I'm not going to sit here and say that the other guys aren't, and they're picking up off that or feeding off that, because we have a group. I mean, you guys are around here enough to see that this gym, these guys are working right before practice, after practice, etc. And he's big on that, right? I think it's just more of a. Again, a little bit like we talked with OG, it's more of an energy thing that guys will pick up on, and Kyle does it all the time too, right? Kyle dives the play, takes a charge, gets his hand in, and then all of a sudden everybody's doing it. So momentum.